Welcome to Tales from South Florida. I'm your host, Bill Monty. Today I invite you to take a talk down memory lane with me as I explore some of Miami's most iconic and wildly unique attractions. Emphasis on the wild. I'm talking about Parrot Jungle, Jungle Island, and Monkey Jungle. Before we swing into the storytelling, though, don't forget to subscribe or follow on your favorite podcast app, leave us a rating, and share this episode with your fellow South Florida history lovers. If you want to find out more, please visit us at Talesfromsouthflorida.com. Now, before we begin, let's cue the theme music.
These are the tales from South Florida for you, with your host, Bill Monty.
Imagine South Florida in the 1930s, the citrus groves, the Everglades just a short drive away, and a young entrepreneur with a dream. That dream became Parrot Jungle, and it opened on December 20th, 1936, by Franz Scher, an Austrian immigrant who once owned a feed and supply store in Homestead. The idea that Franz had was simple, yet you might call it revolutionary. Create a place where exotic birds could fly free rather than be confined to cages and let visitors walk among them. For just 25 cents admission, seems like that would be a lot for 1936, doesn't it? Early visitors could stroll winding trails through hammock lands filled with tropical plants and parrots flying overhead. A far cry from the theme parks we know today. In its first year, over 10,000 visitors flocked in. Talented showbirds such as Pinky, the bicycle-riding cockatoo, quickly became local legends. One story tells of a famous visitor. You might have heard of him, Sir Winston Churchill. He visited Parrot Jungle in 1946 and was so charmed by the space that he gifted Franz 2 turkeys during his visit. I hope they made it past Thanksgiving. But Parrot Jungle wasn't just about birds. In the mid-20th century, it expanded to flamingo lakes and elaborate aviaries, becoming one of Florida's most beloved tourist destinations. But times changed, and by the early 2000s, the original site in Pinecrest was purchased by the village of Pinecrest to become Pinecrest Gardens. That's a lot of Pinecrest, preserving much of that historic landscape. So what was to become of our beloved Parrot Jungle? Well, after they moved away, Parrot Jungle reopened on Watson Island in 2003, still in Miami, but now with a bayfront setting right by all those cruise ships and an expanded vision that soon led to the name change, Jungle Island, which it became in 2007. Now, it was no longer solely about parrots or birds. Jungle Island evolved into a full-blown eco-adventure park featuring exotic wildlife, immersive animal encounters with lemurs, capybaras, kangaroos, and a whole lot more. And there we go, from flamingo lakes and high-wire cockatoos to zip lines and treetop treks, Jungle Island has transformed with the times, reflecting how Miami itself has grown and changed. The park also has leaned into conservation and education, with shows and habitats aimed at fostering appreciation for animals from around the globe. And yet, as recent discussions about new development projects at the site show, this iconic attraction's future is once again at a crossroads, echoing its long history of change and resilience. I can't wait to see what it becomes, because I've been to Jungle Island many times. I don't remember going to Parrot Jungle as a child. Maybe we did once. Usually if we were on that trek out of Miami heading south, it's because we were headed towards the Keys or to Homestead. But Jungle Island, we went to several times. There's some events that I went to that were there, but also just as a family, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great, great park. Probably the best amusement park, in my opinion, that we have right now in South Florida. So if you haven't been, I'm telling you, go give it a try. Jungle Island. You will have a lot of fun. Now, just a short drive from the original Parrot Jungle site sits a completely different kind of attraction, Monkey Jungle. This was established by Joseph Dumond in 1933, actually predating Parrot Jungle by a couple of years. Unlike zoos where animals are caged, This park's motto is exactly where humans are caged and monkeys run wild. Guests walk through secure pathways while more than 300 primates roam free on 30 acres of subtropical forest. A unique approach to wildlife engagement, especially back in 1933, when most zoos featured very small cages or habitats for the animals. Almost cruel if you think about it. The one time that I remember going to Monkey Jungle, might have been twice, I remember just kind of worrying that we weren't as secure as we could be. The monkeys, while they're used to being around people, they didn't seem all that happy to me. That might have just been me feeling a little bit guilty. I always have been kind of guilty about keeping animals enclosed instead of in their natural habitat. But I also understand that this is how we as humans have learned to appreciate the animals even more by seeing them up close and getting to know them, and that has helped us to preserve animals in the wild. Founder Joseph Dumond once emphasized that the park's mission was both entertainment and scientific study, observing primates behaving as naturally as possible while educating visitors on their behaviors and conservation needs. This living jungle allows guests to see gorillas and other primate species in habitats designed to mimic their natural and native environments. And interactions between guides and animals, that remains a show unto itself. And there we have it. From parrots flying free to monkeys roaming wild, Miami's jungle attractions show that history doesn't just live in the books or on podcasts. It lives in the places where we once walked, laughed, and learned. If you'd like to revisit some of the tales of other attractions, again, head on over to Talesfromsouthflorida.com. I know that I probably should have mentioned the Miami Seaquarium in this episode. It certainly is the most famous of all of these. And, of course, how could we forget the Miami Serpentarium? It occurs to me that back in that time when all of these attractions were being developed, we were really embracing the wildness of Miami and bringing wild creatures in to be observed and studied. And we certainly have the weather for it, don't we? These would be very hard things to do up north where you have changing weather, cold weather, snow, ice, whatever it might be. But Miami, beautiful Miami, lends itself to these type of things. Of course, the Miami Serpentarium, perhaps that's just another episode, is long gone. It closed, I believe, in the 1970s. I hate snakes, so I can tell you I never went to the Serpentarium. I do remember that giant statue of a cobra, was it on US 1, that you would see, and of course all the work that Serpentarium did in developing antivenoms and things like that. So many lives have been saved because of it. That's just not one place I was going to go. As far as the Miami Seaquarium, well, we talked a little bit about that in the episode where we spoke about Key Biscayne, so I won't go into a lot of details about it here. As of this recording, the Miami Seaquarium has closed. The animals have been relocated or are being relocated. While it was a wonderful attraction and certainly important to South Florida and the growth and attention that South Florida got, especially in the 1960s, I can't say I'm sorry to see it go. Maybe we'll dive a little bit deeper into Seaquarium and Serpentarium in a future episode. But until then, right now, we have the fond memories of Parrot Jungle, which became Jungle Island, and Monkey Jungle. So again, if you live in South Florida, if you're planning to visit to South Florida, I encourage you, Jungle Island, Monkey Jungle. You will have a lot of fun, as we always have fun here on Tales from South Florida. And again, if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe or follow, leave a rating, and share with your friends and family. It helps us keep these stories alive for future generations. As a reminder, if you would like to support the show, please visit us at talesfromsouthflorida.com. Your support is greatly appreciated. Until next time, my friends, this is Bill Monty, reminding you to be safe and be kind.
Let's take a talk down memory lane, 'cause the stories around here are just insane. Pirates World, Desporto and Wolfie's too. Palm Beach to Key West, that's where we grew. These are the tales from South Florida for you. With your host, Bill Monty.
Hello, friends. Bill Monty here, and I'm inviting you to join me on the podcast Bill Monty's Guide for Getting Older. Now, this is not a podcast about being old. No, it's about understanding the world we're growing older in, how we care for each other, how we protect what we've built, and how we make sense of the systems that are supposed to look out for us, especially when we need them the most. Bill Monty's Guide for Getting Older. It is available wherever fine podcasts can be found, and I look forward to talking with you soon.
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.